Hello friends, so today I am going to discuss the class assignment of chemical bonding. Okay, so this class assignment of chemical bonding. Class assignment of chemical bonding. So in which you can see question number 1 here. Question number 1. Okay. So what is the question number 1? You can see there in your class assignment. Question number 1 is like that कि valency of sulfur, यहाँ पर लिख सकते हैं valency of sulfur in H2SO4. So you can see in H2SO4 the structure of H2SO4 will be like that here. So it is going to form the 6th bond. So sulfur is a 16. It has valence electron. Neon is like that. Okay, neon and 3s2 and 3p4. So all these 6 electrons is going to be used in the bond formation 1, 2, 3 and 4. All these 6 electrons are going to be used in the bond formation. So we can say it is the valency of sulfur in this is 6, or whether we can say it is a covalency. Okay. So answer will be 6. Okay, the answer will be 6. Fine. Now come to the question number 2. In question number 2 is when the covalent bond is going to be formed. Covalent bond is going to be formed when, according to the, if delta En difference is less than equal to 1.7, then covalent bond is formed. Okay, less than equal to, then covalent bond will be formed. If suppose it is more than 1.7, then ionic bond will be formed, because if there is a difference in electronegativity, if more is a electronic difference, then formation of ionic bond will be more. But in this case, because we want to form the covalent bond, that's why delta En electronic difference will be less than 1.7, less than equal to 1.7. This is question number 2. And question number 3, covalent coordinate bond. You can see in question number 3, covalent, you can say यहाँ पर covalent coordinate bond, or we can say complex covalent bond. So it can be observed in H2SO4. In H2SO4 structure, we can draw this structure like that also. Double bond. This is like that. One bond is there, one covalent bond is there, and O and H. See there. So we can replace this structure like that. HOS, O and O and O and H. But we can convert this coordinate bond into simple covalent bond by just putting minus over there and plus and again plus and minus. So therefore it is also called, this coordinate bond is also called simple covalent coordinate bond, or we can say complex covalent bond. Okay. Now come to the next. Now question number 4. In question number 4, coordinate bond is present in. If we draw the structure of ozone, O3, so O3 structure will be like that. In this we having the one coordinate bond. This is the ozone. Here you can see this is called ozone. And in SO3 also we can have the coordinate bond here according to the Lewis dot structure. We can draw the coordinate bond. In this we can see, observe, in H2SO4 already we have seen in this molecule we having the presence of coordinate bond. Therefore answer will be all of these. In this case, this is question number 4. Now come to the next. Question number 5. In case of question number 5, you can see in ethylene, here you can see in question number 5, C, double bond C, this is H, and this is H, and this is H, and this is H. So we having the structure of this ethylene, but in this case, in between two carbon, one sigma bond and one pi bond is present. So we having one sigma bond and one pi bond. Okay, we having one sigma bond and one pi bond in this question. Now come to the next part, question number 6. In question number 6, bond length. So bond length is directly proportional to inversely proportional to number of covalent bond. If we having the more number of covalent bond, the bond length will be less. So in this, if we having the carbon triple bond, so here we having the triple bond. In carbon double bond, carbon we having the double bond over there. Db here you can say that, and in single bond, this is called single bond. So bond length will be more in case of single bond. Now we'll come to the question number 7. Question number 7 is if we having the sp3 dehybridization. So in this case, the structure will be like that. Here you can see the structure will be in this case sp3 dehybridization. You can see there the structure will be trigonal bipyramidal. Here you can see this is like that, and this is like, this is triangle, and one bond is there, one is there. This is called triangular bipyramidal. So the structure will be triangular bipyramidal. In short form we can say TBP. This is question number you can see this is question number 7. Okay, so this is all about the question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now come to the next question number 8. Now come to the question number 8. The question number 8, bond order, already I told. In question number 8, bond order inversely proportional to bond length. If bond order increases, bond length is going to be decreases, and bond order directly proportional to bond dissociation energy. So you can see your option. Question number 9. In question number 9, least bond angle. Okay, so you can first we have to find out, whenever we are going to find out the bond angle, first we have to find out the hybridization, and after that we have to draw the structure, and after that we can compare. If you will see, in case of H2O molecule, it has two bond pair and two lone pair. See there, it has two bond pair and two lone pair. Now in case of ammonia, we having it is sp3 hybridized. In case of ammonia, you can also see NH3, this and this. We having the pyramidal structure. This is also sp3 hybridized. This is also sp3 hybridized. In case of NH4 plus is also sp3 hybridized. This is NH4 plus. So you can see there it is also sp3 hybridized. Okay. All are sp3 hybridized, but it is perfectly tetrahedral. That's why the theta will be 109 degree 28 minute. In this case, due to this lone pair and bond pair repulsion, here you can see that in case of this is lone pair and bond pair repulsion, and the bond angle will be less than 109 degree 28 minutes. So in this case of ammonia, we having bond angle 107 degree, and in this case, due to the presence of lone pair repulsion and lone pair bond pair repulsion, in this case theta will be more or less, so it is simply equal to 104.5 degree in this case of water. Okay, but what about in case of BF2? BF2 is a linear molecule. It is sp hybridized. It is sp hybridized. Here you can see the bond angle will be theta will be 180. So the bond angle will be least in case of water H2O. So this is your answer. Now come to the question number 10. Question number 10. Question number 10 is hybridization. ClO4 minus. In this case you can see ClO4 minus, we having the 4 bond pair and 0 lone pair. So it is sp3 hybridized. In case of ClO3 we having 3 bond pair and 1 lone pair. You can easily find out hybridization. Chlorine has 7 valence electron, 1 minus, mean to say total valence electron is 8. 3 oxygens are there, so they are going to form the 3 bond pair. So 6 electrons are going to be used and 1 lone pair is left. That's why 3 bond pair and 1 lone pair. It is also sp3 hybridized. In case of ClO2 minus, 2 bond pair. Similarly, you can find out the hybridization. So this is also sp3 hybridized. So all molecules are sp3 hybridized. So all having the same hybridization in this case. Okay. So it was a very easy and very simple assignment of chemical bonding. You can easily find out all these. So whenever these in these questions, the concept is like that. Whenever we are going to find out the bond angle, so always first we have to find out the hybridization. After that we have to compare, we have to think about the VACPR theory. If there is a presence of lone pair, lone pair, lone pair, bond pair, then we can consider. If there is a perfect geometry, perfect shape, then we can easily consider the standard bond angles. Okay, thank you.